We're here on a motion to modify temporary visitation. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Mr. Jackson is with us representing the mother, Ms. Gordon, who is with us. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the father, Mr. Fuentes, who is with us. I will also call cause number 8. This is also a case on a motion to modify temporary visitation. Again, Ms. Gutierrez for the department, Ms. Wiggins for the child. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the father, Mr. Fuentes, who is with us. Mr. Turtle is not with us. He represents the mother, Miss Brittany Moore, who is not with us. So this case was set for 9 o'clock. It's 9:03. We've got a full day ahead of us, so we're going to go ahead and get started without Miss Moore or Mr. Turtle. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, I have Michelle Silva, Stevie Mays, and Brittany Shelley in the waiting room.
Michelle Silva is my witness, Your Honor. She's my caseworker. And what was that third name?
Brittany Shelley.
Okay, I think she's for the adversary at 10, and then the other one I believe is on another case as well.
Okay, you're correct about Miss Shelley. So, okay, I think we're ready to proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Michelle Silva as its witness. And are you assigned to both cause number that the judge announced in calling these hearings?
Yes.
And is the father of all 4 children, what is his name?
His name is Michael Fuentes.
Okay. Does he also go by Fuentes PV?
Yes.
Okay. And did you receive allegations last week about Mr. Fuentes bringing Ms. Brittany Moore with him on an unsupervised visit?
I did.
I'm going to object to hearsay.
Your Honor, it's not offered for the truth of the matter asserted. In fact, I use the word allegations for that.
Okay, overruled.
Okay. Can you briefly tell us what the allegation was?
The allegation was that the kids were dropped off at Michael's house by his family member. Michael then had bought a ticket for Brittany to go watch the movies, and Michael drove the kids to the movies.
And based on that allegation, did you talk to the child, Adriana?
Yes.
Okay. Did I say her first name right?
Yes.
Okay, great. And what did she state about her unsupervised father, her visit with her father the week before?
She stated that she had asked Dad where they were going, and he said, oh, actually, she had said that they were getting in the car. She asked him, "Are you driving?" He said, "Don't worry about it." And so they got all in the car, and they drove to the movies with Brittany.
Now, Ms. Silva, does Mr. Fuentes PV have a valid driver's license?
No.
And was he made aware that for his unsupervised visitation, he could not transport the children?
He was aware several times.
Okay. And were there any additional statements that the child made regarding possible abuse or neglect?
Yes.
What were those statements?
Are you saying regarding
What
after?
What did the child state regarding Brittany and the visit?
I'm not understanding what you're asking.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Overruled. They're parties.
Okay. What did the child state? Did the child state that Brittany accompanied them to the movies?
Yes.
Okay. What is Brittany's court-ordered visitation with her children?
Brittany has visitations on Wednesdays, and those are supervised by St. Francis.
And Mr. PV has been in every court hearing. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so he would be aware of that restriction on Ms. Moore's visitation with the children. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, in our motion, we stated that Mr. PV or Mr. Fuentes had not completed BIP. Has that turned out to be incorrect?
He actually did complete it, and that was filed.
Okay. Were there any additional services since the filing of our motion that he has provided proof of completion of?
He did provide a like a screenshot of him getting a job.
Okay. Now, what other concerns do we have with Mr. Fuentes's actions in the month of January 2025?
He was arrested for driving while intoxicated.
Okay. And so again, he doesn't have a valid driver's license, correct?
Correct.
And is this arrest concerning for the department?
Yes.
And does it also reflect that the reasons for removal may still exist?
Yes.
Are we asking the court to change Mr. P.V. Fuentes's visitation with all 4 children back to supervised?
Yes.
And would that be supervised by St. Francis?
That is right now being supervised by his aunt, Macy Fuentes.
And how many hours of supervised visitation are we asking that Mr. Fuentes get each week?
He's currently has 4 hours.
So would we ask for that 4 hours to continue, but just be changed to supervised?
Yes.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Silva, I took the liberty to go back and look at the report that you had signed off on that was filed with the court at the end of December of 2024, your permanency report to the court. And by and large, in that report, would it be a fair statement to say that Deanna Gordon at that time was not in compliance? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And since that time, has she turned that around?
Yes.
Okay. Is she staying in contact with you?
She is.
How often?
Judge, I'm going to object to out of the context of this motion.
Where are you going with it, Mr. Jackson? If you're asking for any affirmative relief, we're only here today on the motions.
We're seeking visitation, Judge.
Is she getting no visitation?
No visitation.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. Let's briefly go into what she's done, but we're coming up on a final hearing, so I'll consider that. Go ahead.
Ma'am, how often does she stay in touch with you?
Weekly.
Okay. And she completed a drug rehab program, is that correct?
Correct.
And she's provided you with the documentation that shows that that was completed, is that correct?
Correct.
And currently she's living with her mom?
Yes.
And is she currently taking her parenting classes?
Yes.
You know how many of those she has left?
I don't. She just started.
Okay. Is she currently taking her domestic violence classes?
Yes.
Do you know how much more of that she has left?
She just started on those as well.
Okay. Is she currently undergoing counseling?
Yes.
To your knowledge, has she attended 8 sessions of that counseling?
I honestly don't know how many she's attended. I haven't gotten confirmation of those counseling sessions, but I know she is going to counseling sessions.
Okay. Well, just cutting to the chase, as far as the department's concerned, would you or the department have a concern for her having some sort of visitation set forth for her, between her and the child?
I did do a hair and UA for her. It was sent to Levelland, Colorado. I still have not got those results back.
Okay, and so what are you looking for?
Excuse me?
Let me ask you this. Is the visitation that you would propose contingent on the results of those drug test results?
Yes.
And so if she's not testing positive for any illicit drugs, you would recommend visitation.
Yes.
Okay, what amount of visitation?
I mean, we hadn't decided on that.
Have you and she had a discussion with probably placing this child with another person?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Have you and Miss Gordon had a conversation about placing Lamella with another person?
Okay, now that is outside of the realm of today, so I don't want to go into any kind of change of placements.
Yes, sir. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pirtle?
I have no questions of this witness.
All right. Ms. Silva, if Ms. Gordon was going to get visitation, she lives where in Colorado?
She lives in Greeley, Colorado.
All right, so it would be virtual, correct?
It would.
Would you agree that with a 2-year-old, probably an hour max would be the most you could possibly be effective visitation virtually?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Kincaid, questions?
Thank you, Your Honor. Have you had a discussion with Mr. Fuentes about the allegations from last week?
Yes.
Okay, has he indicated to you anything about those allegations?
He had stated that he was sorry.
Okay, and regarding the alleged arrest, there's no final disposition on that, is that correct?
Correct.
And are you aware that he's completed his OSAR?
When I spoke to him, he had not yet. He had to reschedule that. And so,
Okay, I'll pass witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins?
When was the last time Miss Gordon had visitation with her child?
at the top of my head, I do not remember. It was at the beginning of the case.
Okay, and so we're going on, the final hearing is set April 14th, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so she hasn't seen her since, you said, the beginning of the case roughly, so that would be April of 2024.
Yes.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, thank you. Anyone have further questions for Ms. Silva?
No, Your
Briefly,
Honor.
Okay, briefly.
ma'am, again, I'm looking at this court report that you had filed back in December, and there were drug tests that you had made reference to on there about a drug test being in May and another drug test being in July, and yeah, in June and July, where she had tested positive on a urinalysis. If her levels, well, what kind of drug testing are you asking for? Are you asking for UA and hair follicle?
Yes.
If her UA is lower, she has lower levels, which indicate that she is not using drugs, would you still be willing to offer her visitation?
Yes.
And the judge is correct on as far as the amount of visitation. I know from experience you can't keep a child's attention for up to an hour. And so would the department be in a position to where if a 1 hour visitation is awarded to her, if she could break that up into increments of 15 minutes apiece?
Yes.
That's doable?
I could definitely see if I could do that.
Okay. Would you agree that would be in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Anyone else have further questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Judge.
Ms. Silva, I'm looking back from notes from our last permanency hearing we held on January 13th. Concerning Ms. Moore, has she made any further progress to speak of on her services?
She did complete her parenting classes.
Okay. Well, from what I've heard, Miss Moore also knew that she was violating the visitation order too, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
But I've got to go strictly off what the motions were today. We're only talking about Mr. Fuentes today, but I just wanted to clear that up. She had to know going to the movie with him and the kids was violation of her visitation, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ms. Gutierrez, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, we do ask that the court modify any parent's visitation to the extent that they feel that they need it. I do feel like there's enough evidence through Ms. Silva's testimony that the court would be able to make a decision if it felt the need to either reduce or start visitation on the parents.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Jackson, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Ms. Kincaid?
I'll call Mr. Fuentes.
All right. Sir, if you'd unmute, thank you. Ms. Kincaid.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Fuentes, were you clear? Did you understand that you couldn't transport the children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I was.
Okay, and you understand that going forward without a valid driver's license, you can't drive the children anywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that Brittany's visitation is restricted, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And that has to be supervised by the department, not by anybody else.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you agree that, if you have unsupervised visitation, Brittany cannot be present for that.
Yes, ma'am, I do. I understand.
Are you clear on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you completed your OSAR?
No, not yet.
Okay. Is that scheduled?
Yes, ma'am.
When is it scheduled?
For Thursday.
Okay. And regarding your BIP classes, you did get those completed.
Yes, ma'am, I completed those back in November.
Okay. But you finally, or you have provided the department the letter of completion.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you've started a job.
Yes, ma'am. And I actually have another interview today.
Okay. And where are you working currently?
Right now, Amazon at the distribution center.
Okay. And are you willing to provide pay stubs or other proof of employment to the caseworker?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever
Okay.
I get my first check, and then I can also show them my proof of employment.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, questions for him?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson?
Sir, there was testimony, I believe from Ms. Silva, that you were arrested in January for a DWI. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir, I was arrested.
Okay. Would you mind sharing with us what county that was?
That was in Randall County.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Pearl?
No questions.
Ms. Wiggins?
How many unsupervised visitations had you had before this?
They just started on the 13th of January, so maybe 3, 4.
And how many times have you let Miss Moore around the children during those unsupervised visitation?
That was the first one. It was Valentine's Day, I thought. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I thought, but yeah, I broke the rules on Valentine's Day.
Okay. And did you break the rules? Are y'all together in a relationship?
We are trying to repair our relationship, yes.
And are y'all living together?
We see each other all the time, just not formally living here.
Is she spending the night over there?
Yes, there's times.
And in regards to your driver's license, what is the holdup in getting a valid driver's license for yourself?
Well, right now with the WI, it's been suspended, so until that's figured out.
Okay. Did you consent to breathalyzer test?
Yes, ma'am. They didn't give me one. They went straight for blood, so we're waiting on blood work.
Okay. Do you have previous DWIs?
No, ma'am.
Were you in an accident?
No, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay. Anyone else for Mr. Fuentes?
No, sir.
Okay, then. Anybody else have any other witnesses?
No witnesses.
Okay. All right, then.
No.
I'm sorry, what? Somebody said something?
Judge, I said no witnesses.
Okay. Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
I recommend that the visitation go back to supervised at this time. I have no objection to the 4 hours and supervised by the placement. In regards to, I don't know if you want me to give my recommendations regarding any other visitation to parents.
Yeah, just as to Miss Gordon.
Okay, in regards to Miss Gordon, since the child is 2, and it would be a logistic nightmare for the placement to have 4 15-minute visitations spread out. I would ask the court that we wait for the drug screens to make an ultimate determination, but if she is to have visitation, no more than 30 minutes at one time. And I would stress that we are very close to the final hearing and that it might confuse a child of 2 if we are to resume those since she hasn't seen her mom in about a year. So that's just kind of my opinion that it might just be a little sudden for a child this age.
Okay, thank you. Give me just a second. Miss Silva, if I was going to give Miss Gordon some supervised visitation, you may not know the answer to this. Would Mary Fuentes be willing to supervise that virtually, or is it going to need to be by St. Francis?
It would need to be by St. Francis, Your Honor.
Okay. All right then. Okay. First of all, in both cases, I will grant the department's motion. I'll order that Mr. Fuentes' 4-hour visitation weekly be supervised again starting today. In the case involving Lamella, I will order that Miss Gordon have one 30-minute weekly virtual visit to be supervised by St. Francis if her hair and UA drug screens both are negative. We won't start any visitation till you get those. You did tell me that she took a hair and UA, correct, somewhere in Colorado?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So we won't start these visits till those come back, but I'm gonna require that they both be negative before we start her visitation. Okay. That handles both of those cases. Our next hearing will be the final hearing that's set for April 14th, 2025. It will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before April 14th to see what time we'll have that hearing. These are your cases too, aren't they, Teresa?
Yes, Your Honor, I think all of today's docket is mine.
Okay, I'll let you know. I just saw today in my orders to sign that there had been orders to sign to have the father, Mr. Fuentes, appear by Zoom from Potter County Jail. I just saw him today, so that I don't know if they've had time to get him to him. So I don't know what may shake out when we start that hearing.
Okay, no problem, Your Honor. I anticipate that it would be treated as a perm hearing since I think there's been 3 separate motions to retain filed between the cases. So
okay, I've only seen the one filed by Mr. Fuentes, but okay, we'll get to it there. And I just want to let you know that I don't know how long that's been in my queue. It's been a few days since I signed everything, but anyway,
Judge,
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that was not, I was just saying if it's been there a while, then that's my fault.
I was just gonna ask, whenever you come back on to start this hearing, could you put the attorneys into a breakout room real quick?
On the PV and Mort cases?
Yes, sir.
Sure. I can tell you right now, I only have one person in the waiting room, so I'll give it a little extra time to see who shows up. So,
Okay, thank you, sir.
okay, we'll be in recess here and I'll be back to see y'all here in just a few minutes.
okay, thanks.
I'm getting ready to call 2 related cases. That's here calling the case on a final hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the father, Mr. Fuentes, who I show is incarcerated in the Potter County Jail. Mr. Jackson is with us representing the mother, Deanna Gordon. She is not in the waiting room and not with us. I'm gonna ask. I have someone that's entered our hearing on a phone line ending in 100. If you would unmute and tell me who you are, I want to be sure to see if that might be Mr. Fuentes appearing from the Potter County Jail.
Yes, sir.
Is that you, Mr.
Yes, sir. It
Fuentes?
is Michael Flynn.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
Your Honor.
Okay, then I will also, well, let me ask Mr. Jackson, were you expecting Miss Gordon?
Yep. Yes, sir, Judge, I just spoke to her this morning. We've been talking about this all week. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
She's not in.
Well, let me go ahead and call the other case, then we'll kind of see where we're at.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
also call related case. In that case, again, Ms. Gutierrez for the department, Ms. Wiggins representing the children. And Ms. Gomez, are you covering for Mr. Pirtle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. So Ms. Gomez is covering for Mr. Pirtle, who represents the mother in that case, Brittany Moore. She is not with us that I can see. Do you know anything about her, Ms. Gomez?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kincaid again is with us representing Mr. Fuentes. And Ms. Moore is not with us. All right, next order of business is I have seen motions to retain the case on the court's docket filed by Mr. Fuentes in both cases. And then Ms. Gutierrez, you said you thought that there had been some others filed that I have not seen.
I count, he filed one in each case, so that's two. And then I think one came in from Joel Jackson on behalf of Deanna Gordon. Your Honor, I think my caseworker might still be in the waiting room, Michelle Silva.
Yes, she is. I'll get her in now.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, we filed, I think that ours was filed on April the 8th.
Okay, I haven't seen it. Is it a motion to retain or a motion for continuance?
It's a motion to retain.
Okay, all right. Well, let's start there. Are there objections to the motions to retain filed by the various parties?
The department does not object to any of the motions to retain.
All right. Then Ms. Wiggins?
No objection.
Okay, well, that takes care of that. I thought we'd have more of a fight about that. So, all right, then in both cases, I will grant the motions to retain the case on the court's docket and extend the case. We'll treat today's hearing in both cases as a permanency hearing. This case, as I said, was set for 11:30. It is now 11:41. We will proceed in Ms. Gordon's absence and Ms. Moore's absence. All right. Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Michelle Silva as its witness.
All right. Ms. Silva, I believe you were sworn in earlier today, weren't you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're still under oath, so Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, you work for St. Francis Ministries, is that correct?
Correct.
And you are assigned to these two cases with Michael Fuentes as the father, correct?
Correct.
All right. Your Honor, the court requested, I'm sorry, the department requests that the court take judicial notice of the court reports filed on April 1st, 2025 in each case.
Okay, I will take notice of those, and I've read both reports.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, can I go ahead and get an update on Lamella?
Lamella is doing really good in placement. She is having therapy with early childhood intervention services. She will be starting daycare pretty soon.
Okay. And is the department still looking for additional relatives as possible placement?
Yes, ma'am.
Has there been any success in that area?
Yes. I spoke with Esmeralda Rivera, and we are going to start the home study soon.
Okay. And what city does Esmeralda live in?
She lives in Dimmitt, Texas.
Okay. And is this a relative of the mother, Deanna Gordon?
Yes, ma'am.
And is she agreeable to a home study?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we asking the court to order that home study today?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Who is that on, Ms. Silva? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Esmeralda Rivera.
And this is for Lamella?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you. Can I go ahead and get an update on the other three children, Adriana, Devon, and Michael?
All three kiddos are doing really good. They're doing really good in school. They're they have good grades. Adriana is in honor choir. She loves choir. She's doing really good in placement as well.
All right. And as far as Miss Gordon, how is she progressing on her service plan?
She currently is she is submitting to drug screens. She's attending substance abuse therapy. I believe it's every Tuesday. She's going to trauma counseling over the phone with a therapist with North Range in Greeley, Colorado. She's attending parenting classes through Zoom. And I believe those are Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. She has domestic violence classes on Thursday as well. She is out working, looking for a job. She is currently in the process of getting her license. She is attending AA meetings and still working with a counselor from her rehab.
All right. And in regards to Brittany Moore, how is she progressing on her service plan?
She has done, she's completed parenting classes, individual counseling. She had her psychological. She completed her OZAR assessment. She still has some domestic violence classes that she needs to complete.
Okay. And in regards to Miss Moore's psychosocial, I'm sorry, did you say a psychological or psychosocial eval?
It's psychosocial.
Okay. Were there any recommendations on her psychosocial evaluation that are not already a part of her service plan?
No, ma'am.
And are there any recommendations from her OSAR or substance abuse assessment?
No.
So, would you agree that Ms. Moore that the majority of her drug screens in this case have caused concern?
Not Miss Moore. She's had negative drug screens.
Okay, I apologize for getting that wrong then. Let's see. In regards to Michael Fuentes or Michael PV, can you tell me how he's progressing on his service plan?
He's completed his psychosocial individual counseling. He finished his parenting classes as well as his bid classes. He just has pending criminal charges that he's incarcerated for.
And is one of those a motion to revoke on a felony charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you know which county jail he's in currently?
He's currently in Potter County Jail.
Well, considering that, I assume that he is not having visitation due to him being in jail.
Correct.
How is Deanna's visitation with Lamella going?
She still has not had visitations. Her drug screens were positive.
And in regards to Brittany, how are Brittany's visits going with the children?
Brittany's visits with the children are going well.
And to clarify for the record, when I asked about Brittany's visitation, I was referring to Brittany's children, Adriana, Devon, and Michael, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And how many hours a week is Brittany getting?
Brittany gets 2 hours every Wednesday.
Are there any additional services for any of the parents that need to be ordered?
No, ma'am.
And prior to Mr. Fuentes PV being arrested again, had he taken any steps to complete that second OSAR that was ordered back in January?
He had it scheduled before he was incarcerated.
Did he get to complete or make that appointment?
No, he didn't.
Am I correct in assuming that he missed it due to his arrest?
Correct.
Are we asking for any drug screens to be ordered today?
No, ma'am.
Can you please describe the department's reasonable efforts to reunify the children with their families?
We created a family plan of service. At the beginning of the case, a parent support worker was assigned to the case for each parent. I have helped Deanna and Brittany get to visits, if they needed a ride to counseling, services such as that. I made the effort to help them.
And facilitating visitation between Brittany and the children and Michael and the children, would that as well be an effort to reunify?
Yes, ma'am. I also watched the visits for Brittany and the children.
And as well, drug screening for Deanna Gordon, is that an attempt to help her meet the conditions to restart her visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time Miss Gordon was drug screened?
The last time she was drug screened was on 3/31. I just recently looked at those results and they're back yet, so I have not filed those.
Okay, are there any concerns with those screens?
They were positive.
Okay, can you tell us what drug they were positive for?
Marijuana.
Would it be contrary to the welfare for the children to be returned to their parents today?
Yes, ma'am.
Would it also present a continuing danger to their physical health or safety?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you. Ma'am, I represent Deanna Gordon, and you and I had a conversation not too long ago on the phone. Do you recall that conversation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and at the time, I was asking what you were needing out of Deanna, for purposes of her services, and I think that you had told me that she's doing everything that she can do. Are you still of that opinion?
Yes, sir. She is.
Okay, and she's still maintaining contact with you, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and I take it on the drug screens that you had just testified to that you'd received for March, those are going to be filed with the court, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for those. Is there anything else that that you're needing Deanna Gordon to do at this point in time to complete her services, other than finish the courses that you testified to?
No, sir. Just finish the courses that we're currently working on. She
Okay.
does need to get a job, and then let me know. She did
Yes,
let
ma'am.
me know that she was out looking.
Okay, so she's maintaining contact.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kincaid.
Thank you, Your Honor. Are there any remaining services for Mr. Fuentes besides the OSAR?
No, ma'am. Just the Ozar.
And then to follow the recommendations of the OSAR?
Yes, and then to follow whatever criminal charges or whatever is expected of him with his criminal.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Gomez,
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Wiggins.
No questions.
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
I have one follow-up for Ms. Silva. Ms. Silva, have you asked Ms. Gordon if she has a marijuana card since she is in the state of Colorado?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And to your knowledge, does she have one or no?
No, ma'am. She did tell me though that she is on some medication and it could possibly show up on her drug screen.
Is her medication THC based or cannabinoid based?
No, she's currently taking Suboxone and
and abuse.
Okay. But the only thing she tested positive for on her drug screens was marijuana, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I pass the witness again, Your Honor.
All right. Anyone else?
Just
No,
one
sir.
question.
But
Did she give you a proof of those prescriptions, or did she just tell you that she had those prescriptions?
She just told me. She has not sent me proof. But when if I talk to her about it, she's willing to send those to me.
Okay, and that's something that you would want to verify. Is that correct?
Correct.
anything else, Ms. Wiggins?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was all past witness.
All right. Anyone else?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Silva, Esmeralda Rivera that we're going to do the home study on for Lamella, how is she related?
So she is Deanna's aunt, which will be Lamella's great aunt, maternal.
Okay. And I showed that Lamella is currently placed with a paternal aunt. Is that correct?
Correct.
And where is she placed now?
She's in Amarillo, Texas with Macy Fuentes.
Okay. She's not being considered as a long-term placement?
She really does not want to be long term.
Okay. And that's why we're doing another, just in case we need it. That's why we're doing the home study on the maternal great aunt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And I want to be sure I still have this right. I showed Devon and Adriana are still placed with maternal grandparents in Potter County.
Yes, sir.
And then I just showed from Michael that it's a relative in Hale County. Do you know what the relative is?
Mike is with the other two children with maternal grandmother.
Okay. Okay, that's all I needed. Okay, anything else from anyone?
No, Your Honor, we request that the findings be made that the department is making reasonable efforts to reunify the family as Ms. Silva testified.
Okay, I will make those findings. And then Ms. Wiggins' recommendations?
Recommend the children's current placement be continued, that the department remain temporary managing conservator. And I didn't object to the extension.
Okay, all right then.
Your Honor,
Yes,
may I briefly call Mr. Fuente, or I mean, I don't even necessarily need to. I have one question about, I think he's got someone he'd like a home study on.
okay. You can call him if you want, because I'd like to kind of hear his side of where he stands with his criminal charges. So,
Thank you.
Mr. Fuentes, if you'd raise your right hand, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, if you would please speak up just a little louder for us.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, all right. Ms. Kincaid.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Fuentes, you've heard all of the testimony today, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay, and you understand you need to complete your OSAR as soon as you're released, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, and I actually just signed for my offer today.
Okay, do you anticipate?
Your Honor, I'm so sorry to interrupt, Savannah. I'm only hearing about half of what he's saying, and then it kind of trails off. If he could really speak up, I would appreciate it.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yes, I will complete my OSAR when I'm released, and I just signed today for my offer in the county, and it is to do a rehabilitation program, which could be between 30 to 90 days.
Okay, and where will that be?
They have not told me just yet. My guess would be outside in Henderson, outside of Dallas, but I'm not too sure.
Okay, and after that, will your probation be reinstated?
Yes, ma'am, it will.
Okay, so you'll be able to get out and complete whatever it is that you need, and then you'll be returned to the community.
Yes, ma'am, correct.
Okay, and do you have anyone else that you would like a home study completed on for the children?
Just my grandmother. I'm no longer living with her.
Okay, is anyone else living with her?
Just my mother, Jill.
Okay, and what is your grandmother's name?
Virginia Luna.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Anyone else have questions for Mr. Fuentes?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Fuentes, I think you and I had talked before earlier in the case, and then I think I lost track of the information. Your legal name is Michael Fuentes, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's my mother's last name.
Okay, so PV is, even though you've given it to your children, is not a part of your legal name. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. Not legally on paper, but it is my father's last name.
Okay. Your Honor, just to let you know, we'll be supplementing our pleadings just to correct that. I think we've had him as both PV and Fuentes together, but it sounds like we need to have him only as Fuentes for the purposes of it being his legal name. Now, Mr. Fuentes, I have a couple more questions. You mentioned that you're going to go into a rehabilitation program. Have they given you the name of that program?
It's called ISF. I don't know what the acronym stands for, but that's what I know it as.
Okay. And with ISF, do you know if upon your release you'll go to a halfway house?
No, ma'am, I won't. I'll just come back home.
And were you given a possible start date or a time frame of when you would begin that program?
Anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks from now.
Right. Now, you were asking for a home study on Virginia Luna because that's where you had been living prior to your arrest. Is that correct?
Yes, I had stopped living there about a week before my arrest.
Okay. Once you're released from ISF, is that the home that you would return to?
No, ma'am, I will go to my grandfather's house on Browning Street.
Okay. And I believe in a prior hearing, you testified that Brittany Moore was living there at Virginia Luna's home as well. Is that correct?
Yes, she is going to get her own place.
Okay. But at this time, Brittany Moore still lives with Virginia Luna. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, as I know, as far as I know, yes.
Okay. Right. Pass the witness.
Anyone else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. Anything else from anyone? All right, then. I think Ms. Wiggins already asked you for your recommendations, didn't I?
I believe you did, Judge.
Okay. All right. First, I'll start with Lamella Peavy's case. In that case, obviously, I've granted the motion to extend the case. I'll continue the department as temporary manager conservator, continue current placement. I'll order the home study on Esmeralda Rivera. And I'll order the home study requested by Mr. Fuentes on Virginia Luna. We don't usually do two, but I'll go ahead and we'll have some options if we need them. And in that case, I'm going to order Miss Gordon take all of her medications to any and all drug screens that she's required or requested to take so that we'll know what it is she thinks may be causing her to have some positive results. In the case involving Michael, Devon, and Adriana, I will continue the department as temporary manager conservator, continue the current placement. I'll order the home study in that case on Virginia Luna. In both cases, I'll set our next review hearing for August 11th, 2025. That's just a date I had on for some other hearings today, so that's a date that I picked. So that next hearing will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can either talk to their lawyers or go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of August 11th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Okay. That will conclude these two cases. I'll be back. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Lucero is with us representing the father, Mr. Wickesers, who is with us. Mr. Saint is with us representing the mother, Miss Mays, who is with us. That accounts for all the parties. Who do we need in from the waiting room?
Haven Doucette, if she's not already in.
She's in the waiting room. I'll get her in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And did you prepare a court report filed on February 14th of 2025 in preparation for this hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
All right. So noted, and I have read that report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Doucette, I noticed in the court report that the child is placed in a foster home. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you please explain what events led to the change in placement from the fictive kin?
They expressed they were no longer able to continue caring for Mark and asked for us to find a placement in that event. It was an emergency and there was an opening at the foster home in Lubbock, so that's where he was placed.
And in regards to the home study on Pamela Woolsey, is that ongoing?
Yes, ma'am. It has been requested and it is scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay, great. How is he doing in that foster care placement?
He's having some troubles. He doesn't get along with the other children in the home, and they placed a 30-day discharge on him.
Now, in your experience, how long do home studies take to come back from the contractor?
From my experience, 30 days.
Okay. So hopefully it'll be possible for us to get this home study approved before the child is moved again, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How is his visitation with his dad going?
Very well. They're very bonded. I've read the notes from the family support worker, and they have a very good relationship with one another and have fun at the visits.
Okay, that's great. And how are his visits with his mom going?
They're also going very well. They play together and they reenact movie scenes with one another and have fun in their visits as well.
Okay, that is good to know. What are the updates regarding Ms. Mays since the filing of the court report?
Miss Mays has gotten stable housing. She has her own apartment. She's begun working her services and she has stable employment as well.
And I believe at the adversary hearing, I think at one of the resets, she had stated she was going to inpatient rehab. Is that correct?
Not to my knowledge that she stated that.
Okay, and she's shaking her head no, so I may not be remembering that correctly. I'll move along. In regards to Mr. Wickeser, how is he doing since the filing of the court report?
He also has gotten a new apartment. He's working on getting employment as he's doing odd jobs right now. He has signed his family plan and is working on getting his services set up and completed.
Okay, so it sounds like both parents are working really hard already. Would you agree?
Yes, they are.
Okay, that's great. So did you prepare family plans of service for each parent?
I did.
Do they aim to mitigate the reasons for removal?
They do.
Are they reasonably tailored to the issues in the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please identify 2 to 3 services unique to Ms. Mays?
Miss Mays, I've asked her to do parenting courses, individual counseling, and domestic violence support group.
Can you please identify 2 to 3 services unique to Mr. Wickeser?
I've also asked him to do parenting and individual counseling and for him to complete the BIP program, the Battering Interprevention program.
Did Mr. Wickeser review and sign his family plan?
He did.
And did Ms. Mays review and sign her family plan?
He did.
Are we asking for any drug screens or alcohol screens to be ordered today?
No.
And let's see here. Do we have any other requests for the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wickerser, if you would, please, would you remove your cap? Thank you. All right, Mr. Saint, questions?
No questions, Judge.
All right, Ms. Lucero.
Just a couple, Your Honor. Ms. Doucette, you stated that you had asked Mr. Wickerser, or part of his service plan is for him to complete the BIP program. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't see that in the status order or the status report. You didn't include that in there unless I'm missing it. Is that correct?
I might have missed it, but it was in his family plan that we filed as well.
All right, and the reason I'm asking specifically about that, Mr. Wickerser wasn't arrested for any type of domestic violence when this case started. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And did you by chance explain to him, because again, I didn't know that that was part of the service plan. That's why I'm asking you now. Did you explain to him that in order for him to successfully complete the service plan, I mean, the BIT program, he has to admit to committing some type of domestic violence? Did you explain that to him?
I was not aware of that, so no, I did not explain that to him.
Okay. Yeah, and that's my concern, is whenever on these service plans, you know, if you're gonna do an OSAR evaluation, you have to follow through with it. All these things you have to follow through. And then, so in order to, for him to successfully complete the BIT program and to present y'all with the completion, he's gonna have to admit to some type of domestic violence. So you're saying that you were not aware of that, or you were aware of that?
He is able to go and do the assessment, and if he does not qualify for their program, they will let us know.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you're just asking for him to do the evaluation? Okay, okay. All right, then that was my concern. All right. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Doucette, you made it clear, but I want to be sure that Mr. Wixer understands. As long as he's honest in his evaluation, if they don't recommend BIP, then he couldn't complete it anyway, correct?
Yes, and it will be marked as complete after that.
But the main point is to be honest about any past domestic violence between the parents, correct?
Sure.
Okay, all right, thank you. Now, I read in the report, I just want to be sure I read it correctly. Are the parents back together?
No, they are
No?
not.
Okay, I read that in the report wrong then. Okay, thank you. Ms. Wiggins, any questions?
Just a few, Judge. Does the homestay on, is it Woolsey?
Yes, ma'am, on Pam Woolsey.
Is she aware of Mark's behavioral issues?
She has had Mark before, so yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. And you said that the evaluation or her home assessments tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any way, I know sometimes it doesn't matter what the judge orders for these home studies, but is there any way to, I guess, let them know that there is kind of a placement issue so we don't have to move Mark twice?
Yes, I can follow up with them after the court hearing and let them know of the discharge.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Judge.
All right. Ms. Doucette, is Ms. Woolsey, does she live in Texas?
She does.
Okay. Okay. Well, what Ms. Wiggins said is actually correct, but I will go ahead today and I'll order that home study be expedited. It doesn't do any good on an ICPC, but maybe it does some good on an intrastate. So, okay. Anyone else have questions for Ms. Doucette?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I need a follow-up after Teresa. Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Doucette, if Mr. Wickerser's family plan has both that he complete that batter's intervention and prevention program, would that be appropriate considering that domestic violence was a huge part of the reason for removal?
Yes, ma'am.
And hypothetically, if Mr. Wickerser were to not be honest in a BIP assessment and it was not recommended for him to complete that program, that would be an issue, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pass the witness.
Okay, I agree with that. That's a bridge we'll cross if it comes to that. So, Ms. Lucero, follow up.
I just wanted to be clear. Ms. Doucette, what type of visits are the parents or specifically Mr. Wickerser having with the child?
They have in-person visits in Lubbock where he is placed. The last 2 Wednesdays, due to the weather and the conditions of the road, they have been virtual.
Okay. And then is this Miss Woolsey, does she live closer to the area than Lubbock? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And is Mr. Wickerser's visits like an hour long or 2 hour long or?
They're 1 hour.
1 hour. Okay. And since the child is having behavioral issues, whether it be that he's away from his parents, whatever the case may be, if this service plan, not the service plan, I apologize, the home study is approved and the child is moved closer, would it be possible to increase those visits from 1 hour a week?
Yes,
without having to come back to court?
Yes.
All right. I appreciate it. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins?
No additional questions. Did you want my recommendation?
If no one else has any further witnesses, then yes.
I do need to rest, Your Honor. The department rests. We do ask for findings of reasonable efforts to reunify in creating the family plans of service, connecting the parents to services, as well as facilitating visitation.
Okay, I will make the findings of reasonable efforts to reunify. Ms. Wiggins, recommendations.
I recommend current placement, obviously, continue until hopefully we can transfer him to the home study. If it's approved, I'm glad they have a previous relationship with him, and so hopefully that'll help his behaviors. If he is moved to Amarillo, then I would recommend additional visitation with the parents to 2 hours, just given his age of 3 years old and his behavioral issues, but visitation going really well. I think that hopefully may help. I don't know, but I don't think it would hurt.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue the current placements. I'll order the services for each parent as contained in their service plans. I will order that the home study previously ordered on Pamela Woolsey be expedited. And I will order that there be additional visitation for both parents with Mark if Mark's moved into the Amarillo area. Okay, that will conclude this hearing. Ms. Mays, Mr. Wickser, if you'd unmute for a minute, please. Can you both hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need to admonish you today that the services that are contained in your service plan become a court order today. At a final hearing, if you haven't worked those services, your parental rights could be altered or terminated. Do you both understand that?
Yes, sir.
Understood. Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds like y'all have got off to a good start on those services. It's just something that I have to do by law, so. Okay, our next hearing will be the initial permanency hearing. I'll set that for June 16th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearings, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of June 16th to see what time we'll have that hearing. Okay, we'll stand in recess on this case. For any of you involved, we'll be back here in about 10 minutes. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Lucero is with us representing the mother, Ms. Shelley, who is with us. And Mr. Jackson is with us representing the unknown father. Mr. Scales, an alleged father, is with us. Before we get started, Ms. Lucero, I understand you have a motion to make.
Oh, Your Honor, can we bring in the investigator?
Sure. Becky Yamus.
Yes, Your Honor. And I think there might be Kathy Jones is already in. Okay.
Okay. I have an Ashley Warren. I couldn't associate her with anybody, but
She was going to be a witness, Your Honor, but we've already contacted her that this hearing's being rescheduled.
okay. Do we want to let her in or?
We can.
Okay. Okay, I think everybody's with us. Ms. Lucero, you go ahead and make your motion.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to withdraw on this case. I believe I have a conflict. There was a prior CPS case involving Ms. Shelley. I have the cause number here. I don't know if the court needs it, but I represented one of the fathers in that case.
Okay. Just for the record, if you'll go ahead and just give the cause number, we don't need to talk about names.
Okay. Yeah, the cause number was 69766-L1.
Okay, thank you. All right, then the motion's been made. Does anybody object to Ms. Lucero being allowed to withdraw due to a conflict?
No, Your Honor.
Objection.
All right. Ms. Shelley, I need to go ahead and tell you, Ms. Lucero was in my last hearing. She let me know this was coming up. So what we'll do is we have a wheel that we rotate who gets appointed. So since she has a conflict, then the next person up will be your lawyer. If you get something to write on, I'll tell you who that is and how to contact him.
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Okay. His name is Jay Michelson. His last name is Michelsen. And his phone number is 806. We'll go ahead and I assume that you wanted to continue or postpone this case till you can talk to your new lawyer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to reset this hearing for March 3rd, 2026. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearings. So parties and attorneys can go on no? What?
You said 2026.
Oh, I'm sorry, March 3rd, 2025. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance to see what time we'll have that hearing. All right, Mr. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Just before everybody gets off here, to the extent that Mr. Jade Shells is willing to visit with me, I would ask that you put us in a breakout room, please.
Okay, sure. You're not I didn't appoint you to represent him, but do you want to talk to him?
It's my understanding that Mr. Shells is not represented.
That's correct. You want to talk? I thought maybe you thought I'd appointed you to represent an alleged and unknown father.
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Yeah, if he wants to talk to you, he can. But Mr. Scales, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I need to explain something to you. You have been alleged as you have been pled as what's called an alleged father. That tells me that you weren't married to Miss Shelley when this child was born. Is that correct?
Correct.
Were you at the hospital when this child was born?
No.
Okay, all right. Then I need to tell you, you have the absolute right to ask for paternity testing that will show that you either are or you are not the biological father of this child. Do you want to ask for that testing today?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, I'll go ahead and order that today. The way that works, they'll be in touch with you to tell you where to go to have that test completed. If it comes back that you are not the biological father, then you'll be removed from the case and you won't have anything you need to do. If it comes back that you are, in fact, the biological father, then you have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, you have the right to ask the court to consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney at no cost to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I've got a question for you.
Okay.
I talked to the CPS worker and she told me to ask you directly. I recently found out that my identical twin brother was sleeping with her at the same time I was.
Uh-huh.
And as far as that goes, we don't know if I'm the father or if he's the father, if we are the father, you know what I mean? That we're identical, so our DNA is the same. So I think she put me on there because I'm the only one with a job and not strung out. So I feel like what happens if it comes back it's my DNA, but it's my brother's kid?
Well, I've never had this happen, and I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if there's some way they can distinguish between identical twins. But what will happen is we'll do the paternity test on your identical brother too. If it comes back that it says you're both not the father, that takes care of that issue. If it comes back and we can't tell who it is, then we'll just have to. You'll need to explore that by that time. If you don't have an attorney, obviously you should ask for one.
Right, I've already filled out the paperwork for one.
Okay, I can't appoint you. You understand? I can't appoint you till we see if you are.
That's fine. I just know you have a lot of knowledge on this, so I wanted to see if you've ever seen anything like that before.
No, I don't have a lot of knowledge on that. I just told you I've never had this come up. Ms. Gutierrez, you used to work for the Attorney General. Have you ever had it come up?
Your Honor, from my understanding, the test the AG's office uses doesn't distinguish between identical twins. I think Ms. Wiggins has done a little bit of research. There's a different test that is highly costly. We may be looking at adding his brother to the case and asking the court to approve that extra cost for that test and see if we can get it done that way.
I mean, it's obviously if what you're telling me is correct, it's obviously if there is a test available, we'll have to do it. So
I'm just going off Ms. Wiggins' Google research, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, Mr. Scales.
And I'll let you know now, like I'm this baby's best shot, and I know that. And if it is my brother's child, I mean he's strung out too, so I'll still take custody. But I'm just kind of freaking out on all.
I'm sure you are, but I'm telling you,
it's a big situation.
I'm not going to hold you anything you say today. You might regret it if I took what you just said to heart. So
yeah,
we're going to do what we're going to do, and then we're going to find out who the father is if it's medically possible, and then we'll go from there. So
I was just in church Sunday, and the preacher spoke right to me. He was talking about how back then if your brother or your father or whatever died, then you went in there and you took his wife and kids and made them your own.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like,
okay, all right, listen, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're going to take it one step at a time, and we're going to figure it out if it can be figured out. And if
thanks
not,
for making me feel better about it.
Sure.
Golly.
Okay. We'll be back on March 3rd, 2025. Miss Shelley, we will notify Mr. Michelson today that he's been appointed, but it will be your responsibility to contact him to set up an appointment.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. We will see y'all back on March 3rd. It will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of March 3rd to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. So we will be in recess on this case. We'll be in recess till 11 o'clock. I'll be back then
I'm
to
sorry,
call
Miss
another.
Wildman
is with us for the department. Miss Wiggins is with us representing the children. The mother, Miss Sanders, is with us. I have Laura Kopp in the waiting room, and I don't show her on any cases. Does anybody know how she's connected?
She was hired by the mother, I believe, Judge.
Is that correct, Miss Sanders? Okay, you're muted, but you shook your head yes. All right, let's get Miss Kopp in.
And Your Honor, our caseworker is having some connectivity issues. She's working on getting on.
Okay. Who's that?
Maria Cedillo.
Okay. The only other person I have in the waiting room right now is Angela Tidwell. Miss Miss Sanders tells me that you've been retained. I didn't have you on my list, so your client is present.
Yes, Judge. We filed an answer, and I spoke with Ms. Wildman this morning.
Okay.
May I speak with my client in a breakout room?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I do have Miss Kopp. I have an Angela Tidwell in the waiting room. Nobody knew who she was. Do you know who that is?
Know.
Okay.
Oh, that's mom. That's my client's mom.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry. It took me a second.
All right. Let me get these other rooms closed, and then I'll.
Your Honor, Angela Tidwell is the St. Francis worker.
Oh, wait.
I think that's what Miss Sanders was trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my client's mom is also supposed to be on. I'll talk with my client about that when we're in the breakout room.
Okay. I just had someone else pop in the breakout room named Maria Cedillo.
And that would be our DFPS worker, Judge.
Okay. Okay. Let me open that breakout room. Miss Sanders, you may be asked to join it, the breakout room, or it may just put you in there automatically.
My paralegal is trying to get Miss Sanders' mom on, but
Okay.
we can proceed at this point, I believe, Judge.
Okay. All right, then, Miss Wildman, you can call your first witness.
I guess I'd ask Ms. Kopp if we need to have the full hearing or if we have any kind of an agreement on mom services.
We'll at this time we're willing to agree to the department being named temporary managing conservator and for mom to participate in services.
Okay.
I think what the hearing is over. If I may, Judge.
Sure.
Miss Sanders had a stroke and is currently in the hospital and does not currently have a release date. But our hope is that once she is released, that you will authorize her to move in with her mother and the children, with the understanding that her mother is 100%, will have to supervise all access 100% of the time.
Okay, so should we go ahead then and have me order an expedited home study on Grandma today?
It may be in the works, Judge. We could ask Miss Tidwell. It seems like she kind of nodded her head there. The children have been with the mother since the removal.
Oh,
I think
with Grandma or the mother?
with the grandmother. With
Well,
Miss Sanders' mother.
What's the name? I'll just go ahead and order it anyway. If it's in the works, it can't hurt. What's the grandma's name?
Laura, do you want to go ahead and give them the names?
Yeah, give me 1 second. And I think I have an address.
Nancy Trask.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What?
Nancy Trask, Trask.
Okay. All right, then.
And then I do think we have to do some amount of the hearing, Judge, because the father is not present. Neither of the fathers are present, and I don't believe either of them has asked for attorneys. So I think we do have to kind of go through and do at least kind of a brief justification and outline of what brought us here.
Okay, that's fine. But let me ask you, is the department in agreement with what Ms. Kopp announced?
The last I had spoken with my client, Judge, we're not necessarily in agreement with the mother moving back, but we are in agreement with the home study.
We don't have a release date for the mom, so that's not
Right.
an issue today. But are you in agreement? Obviously, you are. They're agreeing the department will be named temporary manager conservator.
Oh, yes.
All right.
That's what we're asking.
Judge, and I apologize.
Hang on. Ms. Wiggins, are you in agreement as far as that goes?
As far as, yes, the department remaining temporary managing conservator, the children placed with the maternal grandmother is going well. We would just request it. Obviously, I think what you're saying is a hearing before we move mom back in.
Sure.
Judge, I would ask that we hear that issue today, because we don't know when Miss Sanders will be released. And so if she gets released, she's going to need somewhere to go, and someone to help with the medical issues. And so if she gets released and I can't get a hearing date, then she has nowhere to go.
Well, this obviously this agreement just came about this morning. Is that a problem for the department? If so, we're just going to have to hold an emergency hearing once she gets notified she's about to be released. We can make that happen.
Okay. If we have to do an emergency hearing, then we can, I can accommodate that.
Okay, we'll just have to be sure, just be sure. Obviously, my experience with hospitals is when you're notified you're going to be released, it doesn't happen real quickly. So we'll figure out how to handle that. I don't want to take up an issue that's not an issue yet. So,
Okay.
Okay. Now, Ms. Wildman, go ahead with whatever you need to prove up as far as the fathers are concerned.
And Your Honor, the department's going to call Maria Cedillo.
Okay. Ms. Cedillo, if you would unmute.
Okay. So just briefly, what got the department involved with the family?
The department was involved with the family. We received a report stating that some possible physical abuse had happened to Lily, as well as Lily making an outcry that her parents were using drugs.
And so at what point did you first make contact with the family?
I made contact with them. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in January on a Friday, the day we had the big snowstorm.
Okay. And did you discuss the allegations with the parents?
Yes.
Now, what were the nature of the physical abuse allegations and who were those against?
Lily had said that Tyler Searcy had grabbed her by the back of her neck and put her face into the bathtub. She was refusing to take a bathtub, and Tyler had grabbed her by the back of the neck and forced her head into the bathtub. There was no water in the bathtub, but she did say that this left some red marks on her neck, but this happened back in August of 2024.
Did you discuss that particular allegation with the parents?
Yes, I did.
And what did Tyler say?
Tyler says he recalls the event, however, that he did not put his hands on Lily. He said that she was being very difficult that morning, that she would not take a bath. He was trying to help Christy out by having her take a bath because she had drew on herself with some marker before Christy had gotten back home from the grocery store, and it was a conflict between the two. But Tyler denied grabbing her by the neck and putting her head in the bathtub.
Now, did you talk to the parents about the allegations that they were using illegal drugs?
Yes, I did.
Now, at this initial meeting, what did we can go with each one. What did Tyler have to say about that?
Tyler denied using any drugs. He said that the last time that they used any hard drugs was in their previous CPS case about 2 years ago.
Okay, and what did Miss Sanders say?
The same thing.
Okay, and so do you recall about when that last case had closed?
They worked FBSS services. I believe it closed in 2023.
But were you able to discuss kind of their history of drug use and the department's concerns?
Yes.
Now, did you ask either of them to drug screen?
Yes, I did.
And at that point, I mean, did they agree to drug screen?
They both refused to do an oral drug screen. And then they both agreed at the time to do Christy agreed to do a UA and a hair strand. Tyler was only able to do a hair strand
and
at that time.
Why was Tyler only able to do a hair strand?
Because of his kidney functions. He can't produce urine, so he's unable to do a UA.
Now, were you able, when you were doing all that intake, to talk to Tyler and Christy about their physical health?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that both of them have pretty substantial health concerns?
Yes.
So was the department able to facilitate well, I guess let's ask, how did they end up doing the drug screens?
Yes.
How
Um,
do you recall when they did those drug screens?
They were requested to go on a Monday to do the drug screens. On Monday, Christy said she no longer wanted to do a hair strand. She would only do a UA. And they went that following Friday instead of the Monday that they were requested to go.
Okay. Now, Miss, and sorry to clarify, so Miss Sanders did just the UA test, is that correct?
That's correct.
And she had been on some prescription medication at that time, correct?
Correct.
Now, was the UA positive for anything other than the prescription medication?
No.
Did you still have concerns even with that negative hair screen? Or sorry,
Yes.
with that negative urine screen?
Yes.
And why did you want to get the hair follicle test?
We wanted to get the hair follicle test to see if they were using drugs, and also as well as Tyler admitting that both Christy and him had used the night before I showed up to their house.
Okay. And so now Mr. Surzy, he took the hair follicle test and did that. What kind of results did those come back as?
It was positive for methamphetamines and amphetamines.
Okay. And so during and to be clear, during this time were Tyler and Christy both having medical issues?
Yes.
And in fact, were they both at one point admitted to the ICU?
Yes.
Were you able to make contact with them while they were in the ICU?
Yes.
And did you attempt to talk to them about, working with the department and participating in even something less, I guess, invasive than needing to remove the children?
Yes.
And did we discuss doing a safety plan or a child safety placement?
We discussed doing a parental child safety placement, also known as a PCSP. Yes.
And was Tyler in agreement?
Yes.
But was Miss Sanders in agreement at that time?
No.
Now, Tyler, when you spoke to him, what did he tell you about his and Miss Sanders's drug use?
He specifically told me that they had used the night before I had showed up, and that's why they were up early that morning. He told me that Christy uses through her trach for the methamphetamines smoking, and that he smokes it. And he also told me that Christy was a regular user and he was more of a weekend user, that he felt forced by Christy to use the methamphetamines because Christy would call him lazy or unproductive in the home.
Now, you don't necessarily have to give a number, but in your opinion, were Mr. Surzy's results pretty high?
They were very high, yes.
And were they high enough to cause certain concerns for the department?
Yes.
Did that even affect the visitation?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because once he had admitted that he had been using the night before, and with his levels being extremely high, that can also transfer over to the kids, being near the kids. Or in the sink.
Okay. And so, based off of what you had heard from him and the disclosures he had made, did that give you concerns about returning the children to Christy as well?
Yes.
At that point, do you believe that the department had made reasonable efforts to avoid the removal by offering the parent safety placement?
Yes.
And did the lack of willingness to cooperate at that time kind of prevent the department from doing anything other than a removal?
Yes.
Now, at the time And today, do you think there would be a danger to the physical health and safety of the children if they were to return to either of the parents right now?
Yes.
And do you think that there was no time consistent with the circumstances to have had this adversary before the removal was required?
Yes.
Now, where are the children currently placed?
They're currently placed with their maternal grandparents, Nancy
And-
Trask and Lonnie Trask.
And that's what I was going to ask. Those are the folks that we had talked previously before the judge had called the case about doing a home study on.
Yes.
And are they doing well there?
They're doing very well.
Visitation, has that been somewhat difficult to facilitate leading up to today?
Yes.
What has been going on with the parents as far as their medical conditions and setting up those visits and everything?
It's been difficult with their medical conditions as they've been in and out of the hospital, as well as at one point, from my understanding, the parents were refusing visits with the kids.
And have they been able to facilitate some virtual visits now?
Yes.
But is it your understanding that the children cannot go to the ICU in person?
Yes, they cannot. The hospital does not accept anyone under the age of 12 in the ICU.
And how old are Lily and Olivia?
Lily is 9 and Olivia is 2.
Okay. Let me see. Judge, I'll go ahead and pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Cedillo, what did Mr. Searcy tell you that he and Ms. Sanders had used the night before you met with them?
Methamphetamines.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Kopp, questions?
Miss Cedillo, all the allegations regarding physical abuse are on Mr. Searcy, is that correct?
That's correct.
Not, there's not any against my client.
Correct.
And the only what you would call evidence of drug use by my client is Mr. Searcy accusing her of using drugs, correct?
Correct.
Pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins.
Miss Cedillo, did you speak with the other child's father?
I have tried to make multiple attempts to speak with him, as we had also, we originally heard that he was living in Muleshoe. We sent a courtesy worker out there, found out he moved to Lubbock. We sent a courtesy worker out there. The courtesy worker has tried multiple times to contact him. At first, he seemed very willing to talk to us and go over the removal paperwork and all that information. However, after the courtesy worker has tried multiple attempts, he's kind of ghosted her, as well as the department.
And he basically indicated that he did not believe he was the father of the child. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And in regards to him, there was also some allegations of drug use for him. Is correct?
Yes.
And were we able to even visit his residence in Lubbock?
No.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Right. Anyone else? Further questions?
Your Honor, I would just ask real briefly based off the questions Ms. Wiggins asked. I have maybe one or two questions.
Okay, go ahead.
And Ms. Cedillo, I apologize. I skipped over Mr. Cisneros. Do you believe that placing Lily with Mr. Cisneros would be a danger to her physical health and safety?
Yes.
And in addition to what Ms. Wiggins had said, is there actually an open investigation through APS involving him?
Yes, there is.
And so do you think that that is an appropriate placement for Lily?
No.
Does Lily have any kind of relationship with Mr. Cisneros?
No. According to Mr. Cisneros and Lily, that they've never met each other.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, anyone else?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Wildman, did you have any further witnesses?
Just briefly, with Ms. Tidwell.
Ms. Tidwell, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. I did have one more question, probably for Ms. Cedillo, so let me ask her before we move on. Ms. Cedillo, do you know where the children are placed with the maternal grandparents? Were the normal background checks done on them before placement?
Yes.
Okay, and everything looked fine?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now you could go ahead, Ms. Wildman.
And just Ms. Tidwell briefly to kind of get a little bit more information as far as visitation. What kind of visitation is set up for both of the parents at this time?
Yes, ma'am. We have set up 1 hour weekly virtual visits with both mom and Tyler starting this Friday. I was able to conduct a virtual visit at the hospital on the 15th of February as well. A virtual visit with both parents.
Perfect. So we have something a little bit more established at this point?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Okay. Is it what is, I guess, the plan going forward for visitation with the parents as they kind of navigate release and everything?
Right now, we just have the virtual visit set up. And the reason for Mr. Searcy is because of his drug screen. And I was instructed that we need to keep the visits virtual until we could get a hair follicle as well from Ms. Sanders. Excuse me.
Generally, what is the hope that the hair follicle will show?
Like to have a clean hair follicle just to back up the UA.
And would that help with at least some of the department's concerns regarding Miss Sanders' drug use and kind of moving forward and creating her family plan of service and everything?
Yes, ma'am.
And right now at this point, does the department still have a lot of concerns about that not knowing what a hair follicle will show?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your understanding about, I guess, the difference between the UA and the hair follicle?
My understanding is that the hair follicle will go back 90 days and it's more of a solid drug screen versus the urinalysis. More
And so
detailed.
if hers are clean or the levels are low enough, we could move to I guess in-person visitation hopefully sooner than later.
Yes, ma'am.
At least with Miss Sanders.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you talked to Miss Sanders and Mr. Searcy recently?
I spoke with them on February the 15th.
Okay. Do you have any we haven't heard much about Mr. Searcy. Is Mr. Searcy, to your understanding, also still hospitalized?
I'm not aware if he's still hospitalized. He was on the 15th and he had stated that he was going to be scheduled to be released the following day, which would have been the 16th.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, anyone, let's say, Ms. Kopp, did you have questions for Ms. Tidwell?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Wiggins?
No questions.
Ms. Tidwell, as far as you know, are Ms. Sanders and Mr. Searcy still a couple? Are they together when they're not in the hospital?
I was told by by Tyler Searcy that when he was going to get released from his hospital room, that he was going to go join Ms. Sanders. I didn't get confirmation from Ms. Sanders if that was accurate and true. According to Tyler Searcy, yes, but I did not ask Christy Sanders.
So conceivably, if Ms. Sanders is released and needs to live with her parents who also have the children, Mr. Searcy is going to become an issue, correct?
It will become an issue, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to get as much background as I can before we have to have this emergency hearing when and if we do. So, okay. All right then. Anyone else have further witnesses? No?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Kopp, you want to call who?
Miss Sanders.
Okay. Ms. Sanders, if you'd unmute, please. Ms. Kopp?
Miss Sanders, just so the court's aware, you are currently still in the ICU, correct?
I'm on a regular floor.
You're on a regular floor now, but you're still in the hospital.
Yes.
And you also have a tracheotomy tube that sometimes makes your voice not as loud, correct?
Yes.
But you're going to try your best to make sure you talk loudly enough for the judge to hear.
Yes.
You are the mother of these children, correct? Was that a yes? Sorry. And were you aware of the physical abuse that Mr. Serzi was committing against your children?
No.
When did you find out about it?
Maria came.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Maria came to the
When
house.
Maria came? And were you aware that Mr. Serzi was continuing to use methamphetamines?
No.
When was the last time you used methamphetamines?
2023. 2023.
And that was during the last CPS case, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Serzi told the department that you were using drugs with him. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Is that true?
No.
He has apparently also told the department that the two of you are still in a relationship. Did you hear Ms. Tidwell saying that?
Yes, but we're not.
When did you and Mr. Serzi stop being in a relationship?
I guess it's been 3 weeks.
Does it bother you that the department keeps asking for Mr. Serzi's opinion and believing it rather than asking for your side?
Yes.
And would you ask that the department actually ask for your input in things rather than just taking his say?
Yes.
If he is released from the hospital, is there any plans of him moving in with you?
No.
Is there any plans for you to have communication with him outside what is required for a custody issue?
No.
Pass witness.
All right.
Dallas.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Ms. Sanders?
Planning on going to Dallas with friends.
Maybe somebody heard her better. Is she
She said
planning
she's
to go to Dallas?
planning
Or?
on
She's
going.
planning on going. She said he's planning on going to
He-
Dallas with a friend.
Okay. Give me just a second.
I apologize, Judge. May I ask one more question?
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Sanders, before you had your stroke, you were planning on going to get a hair follicle test, correct?
Yes.
But you've been in the hospital ever since.
Yes.
Pass witness.
All right. Thank you. That was leading up to my next question, Ms. Cobb. Ms. Sanders, are you willing to go for a hair strand drug test immediately upon your release from the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hold you to that. That's good. And I think from your testimony, I know the answer to this, but if part of leaving you with your children and your parents, would you enforce a no contact rule between the children and Mr. Serzi? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Wildman, do you have questions for Ms. Sanders?
Just to Judge, and hopefully we can keep that brief. Miss Sanders, do you understand now that doing the hair follicle test when you had originally been requested to do that would have given you that opportunity to sort of tell the department your side?
Sure. Yes.
But at the time when the investigation began, you chose not to do that, correct?
Yeah.
And you said that you and Mr. Serzi are no longer together, but isn't it true that the last time you were released from the ICU, after this case had begun, you moved back in with him to the apartment that you were living in?
He came to my apartment. I didn't have anywhere else.
Wait, but you two were living together again after that release from the ICU, correct?
He's waiting for his friend to come.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Ms. Wiggins, questions for Ms. Sanders?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'm not sure I understood. Is Mr. Serzi having any type of visitation with the children at this time?
No.
And Your Honor, I believe it was testified that he's having virtual visitation and that Miss Tidwell, at least maybe a week or so ago, had gone up there herself to facilitate that.
Okay. But it's virtual.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, then. If no one has further witnesses, then Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
I recommend the children's current placement continue. They're doing well with the grandparents. I know you're having the emergency hearing, so I won't address that, but and then regarding the visitation, due to the hospital situation, I think they probably should remain virtual at this time. If that does change, I'm not opposed to the older child having possible in-person visitation if that's allowed at the hospital. Just maybe not the 2-year-old at this time. In regards to the father, I would ask that they remain virtual this time.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, then, first of all, I will approve the agreement reached between the department and Ms. Wiggins and Ms. Sanders, that the department be continued as temporary managing conservator. Children's current placements be continued. I will, if, like I said, in case it helps, I will order the expedited home study on Nancy and Lonnie Trask. I'm going to order there be no in-person contact between the children and Tylee Searcy without a prior court order. Okay, our next scheduled hearing will be the status hearing on March 24th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of March 24th to see what time we'll have that hearing. And again, I will, once we're notified that Ms. Sanders is going to be released from the hospital, we'll figure out how to have that hearing. I'm hoping maybe hopefully we had the home study back on them.
Thank you.
That'll give me a few more options, I think. So,
And Judge, sorry, I just wanted to clarify with Ms. Tidwell. Mr. Searcy is only having visitation with his child, the younger one. Is that correct? Okay. I just wanted to make sure he did not have any contact at all with the older child that had the physical abuse allegations.
Okay. Well, the way I read it, there might have been some allegations of abuse to both of them, but I'll just go ahead and leave what I said. There'd be no in-person contact between Mr. Searcy and either of the children. So if he's only seeing his child, that's fine. That's not something I need to get involved with. So, okay. Y'all let me know if Ms. Sanders is going to be released, and we'll set that hearing. If I can't do it, I'll find someone that can. So otherwise, we'll see you back on March 24th.
Sorry, Judge, regarding the March 24th hearing, I know you don't have the schedule this far out, but I would request that it be an afternoon hearing. I have a hearing that took months to set in Carson County that morning, but I would be able to attend an afternoon hearing on Zoom.
Okay, I'll just put a note on here for Brittany that we'll set it the afternoon of March 24th. So
thank you.
Okay, for those of you involved.